Well, hey guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video, I realized that yesterday I never reviewed the first episode of Cult called You're Next. I meant to review it yesterday, I did not get a chance to, but but here's my review of the first episode of Cult, Season 1, Episode 1, You're Next. Now, I was really looking forward to this series, because it seemed very intriguing, especially that it was based off of a TV show and then similar things were happening in real life. And how it was going to be like a show within a show format. And I do definitely see some similarities between the fictional show and the other shows on the CW. And it also looked a little bit better than the following, and I have to say that's the case. It is better than the following. It has a lot of really cool plot twists, and it also is a very entertaining show. But it does have a few problems that I think some people could get confused with. So, the show is basically about, there's this very popular show on the CW, fictional CW, not the CW we're watching, a show on, called Cult, the fictional show Cult. And it's a huge show, it has these huge followers, and so huge followers that they have started their own cult. And so it seems that since they started this cult, that they are the ones that are, who are killing people, and things that happen on the show, they're doing in real life. So they're like obsessed with the show, basically. And in comes, I'm looking for the names because I don't know them yet, Jeff Dean Septon, played by Matthew Davis. And then there's also Sky, a production assistant, and they basically try to figure out what this show is all about, why people, what's going on, why are all these murders happening, and so they basically find out that people are copying the show, and that the actors from the show is forcing people into a cult, basically. And there were some weird parts. The one part that was very weird was that lady who was like, these things are sharper than I think. And then she stabs herself in the arm, and then we find out that the quote from the show. What was that about? That lady must have been really obsessed, but this is like a 40-year-old woman who did that. I found that to be very weird, but I found that to be a very interesting scene. I also liked the scenes with the one girl questioning everything. There are a lot of people questioning things, but there are some big twists that are going on. And but I am going to say that this is a kind of confusing show to review. But I thought the ending was pretty big, where we found out some people who were in the cult that we didn't know were in the cult. So, one of the things that I liked about this show is I kind of liked the parts where this is what I think can get a little bit confusing about this show. What's going to get confusing is that there are parts where they show the fictional show. There were parts where I thought this was the actual show. So I think it can get a little bit confusing because this show, the fictional show, is also on the CW, created by the exact same director. I think people are very easily going to get confused because they're probably going to do this every episode. Have something go on in the previous episode and then the same thing happen in real life. Which can get very cool, but I think it's going to get a little confusing for some people. I definitely was a little confused, like, was that? Oh, okay. It was a little strange, I have to say. But now let's get more into Cult with the performances. Matthew Davis, I thought, was really great as Jeff Dean Septon, because he is the complete opposite. He is not a fan of this show. He's one of the few people that are not a fan of this show, and he doesn't like it. And I think he said his brother does, or something like that. But he does not like this show. He doesn't want to be a part of it, and I thought he did pretty well in this role. I think it's going to be a good role to see him in. It's kind of like Alaric, because it's similar to what Alaric did when he was on the Vampire Diaries. God rest Alaric's character on the Vampire Diaries. It's not the same without Alaric. But I definitely thought that he did a really great job because he, just like Lark was a vampire hunter, he's trying to find all the people that are involved with this. So now, and then we get to Jessica Lucas's Sky Yarrow, who I thought was okay. I mean, there are no performances that are wow. There's nothing extraordinary about the performances. I thought the plot was great, but the performances were kind of lackluster for me. There was nothing I thought was huge. Like, with the following, I saw that sadistic side of Joe Carroll. By the way, I'm not reviewing that show because it's getting very confusing, and 2, I'm behind. I'm really behind. I'm like 3 episodes behind with that show, so that's why I haven't been reviewing the following, but I will review Cult. So, basically, my final thoughts on this show is it was good. And, you know, basically, what happens is, then they kind of copied the following, because then we see someone in the cult abducts some people and kidnaps them in a car. This seemed very similar to the following. Now, it all comes down to the question, which show do I want to see more? Do I want to see Cult, this show within a show, or the following? In my opinion, I think Cult could be a much more interesting show than the following, but as I said, it does have its problems. The first thing it needs to fix, I think definitely, is that it's trying to be too much. I know it's very intense. It's trying to be like the following, but the problem is it's not as gory as the following, but it's trying to be edgy, and it's trying to be this, and it's not as edgy as the following is. The following is probably the most violent show on Fox right now. Maybe one of the most violent shows on, you know, regular TV, not cable, not on regular network TV, you know, like the 5 stations. It might be the most violent show. But this show, you know, it's trying to push the envelope, but it's not exactly working. The other thing I find is I kind of like what happens on the fictional show more than what's actually going on, because I think it's very interesting to see what's going to happen in this and then what's going to happen in this. Plus, I'm trying to figure out, are they going to meet the real people in life? Are they going to meet the real actors of this show? Are they going to meet the real actress of the show? Because I'm really interested in that, because I don't know what was going on, because I found it a little strange that they kept showing so many scenes. Like, they showed a lot. They showed a lot more than I thought they were going to show. Like, the beginning of the show was basically, like, the fake show, and I thought that was very strange. So, this show's kind of like a horror show because of the fake show, so I think that's kind of interesting, but at the same time, I do think this show is going to get confusing. My overall rating this show is an 8 out of 10. I thought it was very good. It was not as good as the premiere of the following, but I did really enjoy it. But as I said, it can get a little confusing. The performances, there's nothing that really wowed me. Like, I like the characters. I think they'll be nice characters. There's nothing really, though, that wowed me. Like, in the following, I knew the guy that played Joe Carroll was going to be the wow factor of that. And he definitely has been the wow factor of that. But that is it for my review of Cult Season 1, Episode 1, You're Next. Let me know what you guys thought of it. Did you see the similarities to the following? Did you like the show within a show factor? Which show do you like more, the fictional show Cult or the actual show Cult? I do kind of find it funny, though, that they're both on the CW. They're both created by the exact same director. That's quite laughable. But that's it for my review. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in the next review, which will be my review for the new episode of Community. So see you then. Bye!